Hey, good morning. Today is another one of our first fives. Today we're looking at Psalm 34. So, one of the things I have to be honest about is the reality that Psalm 34 has played a pretty impactful role in my life. Several years ago now, I listened to a guy talk about how he spent every day with the Psalm for an entire year. Now, he did this as his yearly practice. And so he mentioned Psalm 34 as being an impactful one. So I thought, well, I don't know a better one to start with. So I'll start with Psalm 34. And so for nearly a year, I read it almost every day. I didn't every day, but most days. And it was interesting how throughout that year, as I read that psalm again and again and again, how God spoke to me in unique ways. Now, the truth is, the meaning of the psalm never did change. The words of the psalm never did change. But the way God might have awoken something within me did change throughout that year. So I think it's important as we think about reading the scripture from a way that we recognize that sometimes God speaks to us. And it's not necessarily that the text says something new or different or anything like that, but we sense God's presence in unique ways. Now, I want to be clear, that doesn't change the meaning of the scripture. That's something we sometimes get into, and we'll say, oh, the scripture said something new. No, it actually said the same thing it's always said. It didn't change. The context didn't change. But we begin to recognize God at work in us in a new way. That's the difference from reading scripture devotionally versus understanding scripture in terms of what the author is intending, what the author is trying to say, what it says about the character of God. And so here's what I believe to be true. You and I should spend more time with fewer scriptures. We should rest in them. We should allow them to shape us and mold us and just pray them daily. And so maybe for you, Psalm 34 can be that. And so today we're looking at Psalm 34. Here are the words of the psalmist. I will extol the Lord at all times. His praise will always be on my lips. My soul will boast in the Lord. Let the afflicted hear and rejoice. Glorify the Lord with me. Let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. Those who look to him are radiant. Their faces are never covered with shame. This poor man called, and the Lord heard him. He saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in him. Fear the Lord, you his saints, for those who fear him lack nothing. The lions may grow weak and hungry, but those who seek the Lord lack no good thing. Come, my children, listen to me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. Whoever of you loves life and desires to see many good days, keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking lies. Turn from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their cry. The face of the Lord is against those who do evil, to cut off the memory of them from the earth. The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and saves those who are crushed in spirit. A righteous man may have many troubles, but the Lord delivers him from them all. He protects all his bones. Not one of them will be broken. Evil will slay the wicked. The foes of the righteous will be condemned. The Lord redeems his servants. No one will be condemned who takes refuge in him. What I love about this psalm, there's a ton of things I love, but what I love is how David the psalmist really wants us to understand that if we'll seek God, we'll seek to be righteous, that in the end God will be with us. That he wants us to turn and do good, that the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, his ears are attentive to their cry. God hears us and he answers. Now, the answer isn't always what we hope for, but what he promises, we find, especially through the person of Jesus, is that God is present with us. So I don't know about you, but maybe you just need to spend some time with this psalm to hear that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted, that he's near those who are crushed in spirit. Today happens to be the day after Valentine's Day, and maybe you find yourself having lost someone and alone. Maybe you find yourself in a relationship where you feel alone, or maybe you really are alone. And it's a reminder for us that on this day, the day after what is really a Hallmark holiday, that's another conversation for another day. But what the reality is for us is that maybe you need to know today that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted, to those who are crushed in spirit. And so he hears your cries. He hears you longing for him. And maybe this year you need to rest with Psalm 34. So have a great day, and we'll catch you next time for another First Five.